Hello everybody, this is Fish here as always, and today I'm going to be showing you how to design this. You're probably asking, what the hell is this? It's basically a device that counts the number of players that pass through a little tripwire setup. So for example, you fly through it like this, and you can probably hear from the tripwire sounds. You go through it, each time it lights up a lamp. It's a very niche application. I'm hoping it can be used in like a sort of a PvP arena, so that every time a player dies, they respawn in an area and they fall through this tripwire, and the number of lamps that light up show you how many players have been killed in action, so to speak. So I'm just going to be giving a brief overview of this and then getting on to the actual construction. The way it works is that the tripwire hooks connected to a block, it powers that block. Then you run a redstone circuit through to this little motherboard looking thingy down here, and that's what controls the lamps. And the way it works is that we'll just reset the system. As you can see by the fact that I'm using these locked repeaters, I'm in the 1.4 pre-release update. This will only work in the 1.4 and beyond updates, because ones before that don't have locked repeaters, obviously. But the way they work is that each time you pass through this tripwire, it unlocks one of these gates, allowing the next time you go through it to power the next lamp. So basically, the circuit serves two functions. It lights up a lamp and deactivates the gate to the next lamp. As you can see, quick demonstration, go through, gate disappears, lamp goes on, go through it again. Two gates disappear because I was in there for a while, and two lamps turn on. The way it works is you have to have the repeaters, these ones here, the ones that lock the other repeaters, they have to be set to a delay equal to or greater than the length of the pulse you're sending through. So for example, if you're standing on this for a while, you're going to get a long pulse. It's not too hard to set up, you just add more repeaters basically. But now I'll show you how to actually build this thing. It's pretty easy. It's a repetitive design. You just get one unit and then you repeat it for however many repetitions you require. Like for example, this one here is 6 repetitions set to the length of a button push. This is 4 repetitions set to falling through a tripwire. Okay, so I'll just show you how to build that in a hurry. You'll start with a 5x2 area. Oops, like this. The way I do it is I build these. I build the actual motherboard separately, and then you can put this tripwire wherever the heck you want. All you really have to do is connect it with a redstone circuit. Like with this, I've just gone vertical transmission downwards. You can use vertical transmission upwards. You can transmit it horizontally, however the heck you want, just as long as there's a way for the signal from the tripwire to get to the motherboard, and you'll be set. Okay, the way it works is redstone dust here. That's where you transmit the tripwire signal to. That's the first component that receives power. Then you have repeater here, repeater here, repeater here. The one that locks has to be set to a maximal delay. For example, if you're using the tripwire, you set that one to 4 ticks. These two have to be 1. Next thing you do is block here, and 2 blocks here. Well, actually, for the moment, let's not use this block. The way this works is that we have a 1 wide RS NOR latch. For those of you who aren't in the know-how of how an RS NOR latch works, basically you put an input somewhere, and it goes from on to off. Then you have an input at another point, and it goes from off to on, and that's what we're going to be using. So we'll put a torch here. As you can see, that powers this repeater and locks this repeater. So even if we send a signal through, it's not going to do anything. It's going to stay off because it's locked. Then we want to put redstone dust on top, repeater here, and a redstone dust here. Now that's your basic one wide RS NOR latch, for example. That toggles it from on to off, and then you press the top one, and it goes from off to on. But we're going to be using something slightly different here. We are going to be having this happen. Basically, you get the redstone signal in through to this block. It powers this here, which powers this block and this repeater. That's not a repeater, it's a torch. What am I talking about? It turns this torch off, deactivates this, that goes on, and powers this. And that's basically how the RS NOR latch works. For example, let's get this happening. If I can actually hit the button, and you press it, and this goes, that deactivates this lock, allowing the signal to pass through. And that's one unit, and basically you just repeat this however many times you need it. For example, if you want it 9 long, you just do this and you repeat it next to each other 9 times. It's not that difficult. What I like to do is, so that there's a visual way of telling that the signal is on, apart from actually inspecting the circuitry, you put a redstone lamp here, and that tells you that this gate has been unlocked, signals pass through here, and we get this happening, as we saw from the earlier demonstration. And also, we want a way to reset the whole system. Like, for example, if we've got this and it's all on, we want a way to set it back to the regular state where these are all off. And the way we do that is by applying the logic of the one wide RS NOR latch. And because the first way it receives power is through this block, we have to put power into one of these 2 blocks to turn it back to the off state. So let's just say, just mind the tripwire. We'll power this block, and then we'll use repeaters to power the same block for every unit, so that when we press the button, that powers this block, turning the RS NOR latch back into its off state, or on state in this case, and then these repeaters just do the exact same thing for these ones. This is an example of something I built earlier. It's a 6 wide player counter. And the way it works is that you fall through here. There's a bit of tripwire just there. And the way it works is, I'm hoping, for a PvP kind of thing, when you die, you spawn in this box, you walk down, you trigger the tripwire as you fall through. This water break is to make sure you don't die on the way out, so you can't fool the system. And it activates a lamp showing everyone else that that a player has died and is out of the game. Originally, I got the idea for this from watching one of Etho's videos where he's trying to build a PvP map, and he talked about trying to develop a player counter that counts how many players have died. You know, it can tell that if, say, you've got 4 people on each team, and all 4 people of that team die. Let me just set this to daytime. That there's a way to tell when all 4 players of a team have been killed, so that way you can display a victory message. And I'm thinking this is one way to do it. Like, you set spawns for the different teams. I know I've seen in some of the PvP team-based arenas, you're set into teams. I think it's through mod or op commands or something. But separate into teams. Each team's given a spawn location like this, and when you die, you respawn at that spawn location, fall through, trigger the tripwire, which sequentially turns on these lights. And when all the lights are on, obviously your entire team is dead, the other team is the winner. So if by some chance, Etho, you are watching this, just a little thing to consider. But to anyone else who's also trying to think of a way to display a tally of deceased players in a PvP combat situation, again, this is something to consider. Oh, jeez, we're getting some close lightning here. This is, as far as I know, my design. If someone else has come to the same design, that's purely coincidental. Otherwise, I will try to claim credit for it, as you rightly would. But yes, that's pretty much it. I'll wrap this up by saying this is a tutorial for a PvP player counter. As always, I'm Fish, and hopefully I'll be bringing you some more tutorials in the future, maybe some more redstone technical aspects, hopefully some more PvP based things, because I'm really looking to try and, develop some more PvP elements.